Now talk about setting the tone early. Second play on defense, first passing opportunity, and you're just going to have a play action one-on-one matchup between Nashawn Wright and DK Metcalf, the Steelers' top receiver. And Wright is just going to have a hell of a play. Just teach tape, corner one-on-one play against a top receiver in his back hip all the way, looks back for the ball, and then finishes the play. What a hell of a catch by Nashawn Wright. This guy ties the NFL with the most interceptions in the season with 5, with his fellow Bears safety, Kevin Byard, over here celebrating. Look at those celebrations. Getting the boys pumped, getting the boys excited for this football game, and setting the tone. Hell of a play, hell of a way to start the game and get the momentum going for the Chicago Bears. Got to watch this one more time. Back hip, look for the ball, snag, get both feet in. Let's go, Bears ball. Going into this game, the Bears were out their 3 starting linebackers, TJ Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, and Noah Sewell. Stepping up to replace them was number 47, Ruben Hippolyte, number 48, DeMarco Jackson, and then listed as a DN, number 92, Daniel Hardy, playing the Sam linebacker position in this drive. Knowing this, the Steelers' offensive mindset was to attack the perimeters, really test these guys' ability to defend sideline to sideline, and early in the game, they had a lot of success. Here they are, first play of their second drive, backed up on their own 5, and they're just going to run a simple counter scheme to try to give them some more breathing room, and fortunately for them, they end up getting 12. And we're going to get this short motion from this tight end, and then we'll pause it to show the blocking schemes that they're going to be doing. So this tight end is going to come out to seal this DN. This left tackle is going to come out to seal off the backside linebacker. You're going to have the center sealing the 1 tech, and then you're going to have the guard and center combo blocking the 3 tech, working their way up to the Mike linebacker. You're going to have 73 pulling to kick out the DN, and then big ol' 74 fullback wrapping around to take on our Sam linebacker, and then the running back is supposed to just follow his blocks and then go for how many yards he'll get. However, in this play, Joe, the Bears DN, does a great job wrong arming the pulling guard and then also disrupting the path of the pulling fullback, allowing Daniel Hardy to be free and unblocked and giving him a chance to make the play. Unfortunately, he's a DN out in space, which is just usually not a recipe for success, and their running back is able to just bounce this outside and get a nice gain of 12 yards. If we have our starting linebackers, I would argue that this run goes for maybe 2 yards, because you can see right here, Daniel he's unblocked. Joe's doing a great job taking on 2 blockers, leaving Daniel for free. All Daniel has to do is scrape over, keep contained, and then make the tackle for a minimum gain. Unfortunately, he's just a DN that just isn't that mobile, and Warren goes for 12 on this play. So if the Bears weren't already thin enough at linebacker, Ruben Hippolyte, the play before this, was injured on the play and did not return for the rest of the game. So how does Dennis Allen respond? With only 2 linebackers, Daniel Hardy, yes, was playing a linebacker position, but in this drive, you just saw the weakness that he provided and that the Steelers were just going to take advantage of him being on the field, playing a linebacker position when he's listed as a DN. So Dennis Allen's response is to go base package is going to be nickel. Nickel defense is when you have 5 defensive backs on the field at the same time. This allows you to be better in pass coverage, but a little softer in the run usually. But because the Bears got some absolute dogs, hard-hitting DBs like CJ, Brisker, Byard, Wright will come up and hit someone. They didn't lose too much in the run game. They're able to hold their own. That's also a great testament to the big D-line doing their job. And then these 2 linebackers that pretty much played for the rest of the game. DeMarco Jackson right here. Amen Abangaminga. But for the Steelers, it doesn't matter who's on the defensive side for the Bears. They're going to continue to do the same thing that they've been doing this whole drive. For 95 yards, they're going to cap it off with a 6-yard touchdown pass to DK Metcalf. You're just going to have a simple motion over, quick screen pass. You're going to have 3 blockers for 3 blockers, and you're going to trust DK to beat his man of the linebacker. And it's just a simple throw and catch. DK runs it in for 6 yards for a touchdown. Just wanted to emphasize that Dennis Allen is just doing the best that he can, trying to get these guys ready and in positions to make plays. And later in the game, it happens. The boys get comfortable. The boys understand what is asked and what they need to do, and they show up and pull through. This was not one of those plays, but just wanted to show you what was happening in the game and how Dennis Allen had to be flexible and make adjustments on the fly. The Steelers once again have the ball. They're now up 14-7 due to TJ Watt having an amazing strip sack for a touchdown. And the Steelers are trying to take control of this game, running the ball and using as much clock as possible, keeping Caleb Williams and the Bears offense off the field as much as possible. The Steelers are trying to take advantage of the Bears having to use a nickel package as their base package. Again, a nickel package is 5 defensive backs and only 2 linebackers and 4 D linemen. The Steelers are adding an extra lineman as their fullback, having more weight, bigger bodies. Ideally, they have the advantage in the run, but the Bears' run defense shows up in this play, and for majority of the game, you have Amen Abangamega here goes unblocked and just makes a great play for a minimal 2-yard gain. We're just going to watch this play. This is a huge play. It doesn't look like much stat-wise, everything else, but like a confidence-building play for a guy that hasn't started. Look at him get pumped up for this play after making that. Awesome tackle. He just finds the empty hole and makes eye contact with the running back and does a great job. Form tackle, bring him down, get him pumped up, get the defense juices going, hasn't started a game at all. Wasn't even starting this game, but finds himself here and makes a great play. This is huge confidence building for this guy and our defense, and also a little demoralizing for the Steelers because now they can't just come out in this big package and just run all over this defense, forcing Dennis Allen to have to make more adjustments. With this play specifically, it allowed Dennis Allen to trust that the nickel package defense was good enough in the run defense and also in pass coverage to be able to just run this defense throughout the whole game, making it harder for the Steelers to kind of do what they wanted to do. Now, this is a very difficult play to defend. The Bears are selling out on the tush push, and the Steelers just have a great fake with the end around, with leading blockers coming out here, and just got to tip your cap off to them. It's a great play call, and it goes for a big yard. What I want to highlight, though, is the effort and the hustle that these defensive players have. They could easily let this guy just cruise into the end zone, but no, all the way on the backside, you're going to have Kevin Byard hustling all the way down, and he makes him short. This guy is marked down at the 1, and you just love to see that from a defense. They don't give up on a play. It doesn't matter that there's no one around him. These guys are running and hustling at an angle to make a stop on this play. Unfortunately, the Steelers end up scoring on the next play anyways, but you just love to see the hustle and the effort that a defense is putting in on a play that is blown up like this. It is just a huge testament to Dennis Allen and his ability to motivate these guys to play every single snap and every play all the way until the final whistle. Here we have Montez Sweat, first sack of the game. I'm going to give credit to the coverage of this. This allows Sweat the time needed to bring down a scrambling Mason Rudolph. Montez Sweat has really stepped it up in the last 6 games. He now has 6.5 sacks in the last 6 games. In the beginning of the season, he was really struggling to get the sack stats counting. His presence and value is really felt in the run game, but it is nice to see that he is finally flourishing and getting the pass rush and sacks that we need from our big DN that we pay a lot of money for. But you can see this is a coverage sack throughout all the way because Sweat doesn't even win his one-on-one against the DN. Rudolph just kind of runs into him. So the Bears defense, they're just running a variation of cover 2. You have 2 high safeties. You have this middle linebacker here taking away any potential deep ends or posts by these receivers. And then you just have a corner defender, hook curl, and then a hook curl. And nothing's open. With these routes that the Steelers are running, you got a crosser. DK is going to sit on a corner, and this guy's going to run a skinny post. Rudolph has nowhere to go. He doesn't have a check down. His running back's still in the backfield, and he's going to try to scramble. And he's going to try to scramble right into Montez Sweat, who's only being blocked by a tight end. What I would love to see from Sweat, to be completely honest, is him winning this rep outright. He still gets blocked by the tight end, and he doesn't get any pressure to Rudolph. You see, he's not fighting any of the hands. He's just kind of getting blocked and pushing the guy back, really not doing much at all. Thankfully, Rudolph runs into his area where he's able to get his long, lengthy arms wrapped around him and to bring him down for a big-time sack. Now, I love to see this. When a player makes a mistake and learns from it within the game. So we have 3rd and 2 in the third quarter, and the Steelers are gonna run the exact same play they ran in the first quarter on a 3rd and 2 situation. So what you're gonna get is a motion from DK from the bunch all the way over here. He's gonna run an out route. This guy's gonna run a corner, and then you're gonna have Darnell Washington run this deep over route, and then this tackle guard guy is going to slide over and then have a potential screen check down for Mason Rudolph to pick up the first down. And then in the first quarter, it worked. I'll show you the play that happened in the first quarter. The Steelers were able to get the block out, and Jackson, the guy responsible for the back, was too late recognizing the play. He got caught up with trying to cover Washington, and in this play, obviously they made adjustments on the sideline, and he recognizes the play, and once he does, he fires towards the back like out of a cannon, and you can see just how well coached and how well that these Bears players are playing on defense. So you're going to have Jackson down at the bottom of your screen and just does a great job tracking the running back, stopping him for a 1-yard loss, and it's just awesome. Just great to see the adjustment and ability to learn mid-game. What a wonderful play. Huge plays for the Bears defense, and then get the boys absolutely going and hype. Big thing for this group, just to show how resilient and how hard they play for each other and just how excited they get for each other. I mean, this is a big time play by a backup linebacker in a big time situation. Awesome. Now this is what you love to see from your big time players coming up in big moments and making big plays for the team. The Steelers are going to run a play action, and the Bears are just going to be man-to-man on the receivers with these two down here. Wright's going to do a great job containing DK's curl route, not letting Mason Rudolph get it off and to make a completion for a potential first down. And then Montez Sweat, earlier in the game in his first sack, he didn't win the rep against the tight end. He makes sure he wins this rep this time when he gets a one-on-one with Washington again, and he comes up big for the Bears, making another huge momentum play. Bears defense firing on all cylinders. They're letting up points. They're giving the Steelers chances, but also doing a great job winning when they need to win. Just a great rep by Sweat. You can see he gets that one-on-one with Washington, wins the hands battle, bends the edge, and gets that ball out for a recovery for the Bears. Love to see it. All right, 3rd and 6, up by 10. Dennis Allen is going to come in his classic, crowd the line. Who's coming, who's going, I don't know. What ends up happening is there's going to be a motion over by the Steelers, and it's going to be a corner blitz by a CJ up here at the top. So you're going to have McLeod man-to-man. You're going to have Hicks actually pick up the third receiver, whoever comes across, and you're going to have Byard take the vertical threat, and then Wright take the outside threat. Brisker is going to be man-to-man on the running back, and then you're going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pressure blitz. You got to get home. You got to get pressure. You got to get Rudolph off his spot. You shouldn't allow the receiver here at the bottom to be able to run a whip route for 19 yards. Just kind of bad defense all in general. This play is blown up with their running back just blowing up Jackson, who gets in the way of CJ blitz path. Now if CJ doesn't get knocked off his path, does he get to Rudolph and cause a pressure? I don't know, but as a linebacker, you just cannot get blown up like this. You got to know if that hole opens up, if the line's sliding and giving you a Grand Canyon to run through, someone's coming to block you, and you got to keep your head on a swivel. Unfortunately, he doesn't see the running back, and he blows him up. He gets in the way of CJ's path, who, again, if he's not here, he might get to Rudolph in time. I think he does with that slight hesitation that Rudolph has waiting for the route to get open. So it's tough. It's tough to give up 19 on a play design that you have in theory should beat it up, should get pressure, but it doesn't. And this is a problem that the Bears have been having all year when they bring pressure. Sometimes they get home, sometimes it doesn't, and when it doesn't, it's usually for a big gain on a third down, which kind of hurts to. So the Steelers are third and goal on the 3-yard line, and these are the touchdowns that you just hate to see. It feels like, I'm not 100% what the play is, whose responsibilities are what, but from film, it just seems like McLeod, Hicks, and CJ are 3 for 2 on these two tight ends. CJ gets pushed back and gets in McLeod's way to be able to cover Freiermuth, and then Hicks comes down for the run, and then he looks around looking for a tight end, so I'm not 100% sure if he's actually responsible for an in-breaking route by the tight ends. Either way, you just hate that they're able to get an easy throw and catch for a touchdown when you're so close to stopping them. And it also is frustrating to see when you have 3 guys all right in the same area and then no one near this open tight end. Byard does a great job reading Rudolph's eyes, but he's just not fast enough to get there. And it's a touchdown for the Steelers, making it a 3-point game. And we're going, here we go again. The Bears are going to somehow blow another 2-possession lead. Thankfully, that doesn't happen. But ideally, you have better defense than this. Now, it hasn't been pretty. But when the Bears defense needs to step up and get a stop, they show up every time. This whole season, they have been finding a way to get the stops when they need to get a stop and come up big for this team. And this is another example. A little over 2 minutes on third down, the Steelers are going to try to get the ball to DK, but Dennis Allen is all over that. We're just going to be running man-to-man, cover 1, and doubling DK. Do not let DK catch the ball. Let someone else make this play for you. The linebackers are just going to be dropping into hook curl zones, and then the D-line is just pass rushing. They don't get a good pass rush. They don't get any pressure on Mason Rudolph, but Grady Jarrett does a great job reading the eyes and getting his hand in the path of the ball to bat it down. That leads to an incompletion. Huge play for the Bears defense. Way to get off the field, get the ball back to your offense, who then can go put the game away. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case in this game, but way to do their job on the defensive side. You can see Big 50 right here. You'll see his right hand come up and deflect this ball, which leads to an incompletion. Thankfully, I think there's 3 guys all around DK. Even if that ball isn't deflected, I would bet, there's no way. There's just no way that this ball is getting caught by DK, because you got Wright and Brisker all over this in route, in position. That might go for 6, so Mason Rudolph kind of got off lucky that Grady actually hit that ball for him. Unfortunately, the offense wasn't able to win the game for the Bears, so the Bears defense has to go out and stop a under a minute drive and prevent a field goal from happening. The Steelers are past midfield. They're only about 20 yards away. They got 21 seconds, no timeouts to make it happen. So everything is kind of in the favor of the Bears. They come out and they're classic. Crowd the line. It's 4th and 6. Who's coming? Who's going? Who's dropping? No one knows. But I do, because I watched the film. You're just going to get man-to-man, cover 1, and you're going to get 3, 4, 5, 6 blitzers on this play. And Brisker does what Grady, he saw what Grady did, just get in the path of the ball and bat it down. And Brisker at the top of your screen does a great job. He knows the Steelers do a great job of blocking this pressure, so Brisker knows he's not going to get home. So what he does is just get in the path of the ball and deflect it and ends the game. Seals another W for the Bears. 8-3, that's what I'm fucking talking about. You love to see it, but the guys on the field showed up and played their hearts out and won this game for the Bears. The offense did their job, the defense did their job, and it's another W for the 8-3. First place in the division of the NFC North, Chicago Bears, baby. Love to hear it, love to see it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And then until next time, bear down, Chicago Bears.